Hi, good evening. Welcome to Clifton's Back to School Night. I will be telling you about your child, so make sure that you send me an email with any questions or concerns, and I will get back to you very shortly. Our course outlines. So this is what we're going to cover this year in science. We will start off with the introduction to lab safety, microscopes. We'll move into cell as a system, so we'll look at plant and animal cells and what they're made of and what they do. Body systems, heredity. We'll move into environmental and genetic influences, climate, weather, and energy, weather patterns, and then we end the year with Earth and human activity and how we are impacting our planet that we live on. As far as my grading goes, this is basically the grades over here with the percentages that you'll see reflective on Aries. I do have weighting, so tests, quizzes, and projects make up about 25% of their overall grade. Homework and classwork is about 30%. Labs, activities, and simulations, because we are in distance learning, so we'll have some simulations this year, 25%, and then participation is 20%. With the homework and classwork and participation, we're looking at the asynchronous and synchronous working with live instruction and the work that they're doing on their own during distance learning, so that's kind of where I'm getting that workload will be. For science, we are using next generation science standards. So we look at the practices, the core ideas, and then we kind of cross-cut all of those together. And that's basically what we are focusing on this year. My course expectations, I do expect students to arrive to their Zooms on time, make sure that they're coming in on mute and that their Chromebooks are fully charged. I do ask them to have a quiet and distraction-free area as much as possible. I know that's hard. I will take attendance every Zoom class. I do look for appropriate behavior and language. I would love it if cell phones could be put away and we're not in multiple screens and tabs. And then obviously respect is huge. I want my students to respect other students in their class as well as myself, and that we are participating. I want to have them be able to interact with their peers and work in breakout rooms and ask questions and have great discussions about the curriculum. So I always love when they turn their cameras on and I can get to know their face and their name, since sadly we're not in the classroom. The next thing that we discussed with as a class, I went over this with my students, REACH, which is our Clifton core value. So respect, empathy, accountability, compassion, and hope are huge. It is what I am expecting from my students. It's what I'm expecting to give to my students. So if we can just make sure that we are supporting the idea of REACH. My discipline policy, I really try to work with my students as much as possible before we need to move to making a phone call home or having a meeting with the principal and the parent and the teacher and the student. So I really like to try to redirect the student, have a conversation like what's happening, how can I help you? So that's kind of where I'm at on my discipline policy. As far as general information goes, late work and absent work. If your child is going to be absent, please make sure that they check in either with me or a classmate, find out what they missed, check in with their Google Classroom, and get caught up as fast as possible. Late work, I do accept late work. Things happen, and I would have them just go ahead and make sure to get that in before the semester ends. Okay, and then the last one is supplies. These are suggested. I just find that these things do help students stay organized. So just to keep their things together by curriculum. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night, and I look forward to this year with your child. Have a great year.